So, very good afternoon to everyone. I'm Karthikeya Kumar from Hyderabad, a cybersecurity advisor, leadership coach, and an HR analytics consultant. So, this is going to be a quick 15-20 minutes discussion or topic rather about challenges in balancing work and life as a part of Leadership Series 2021. So we have actually been seeing various challenges that have been coming because of this pandemic situation, and it's been 1 year now where we have been completely into work from home kind of life. Even though we have started working physically at our office locations, there are still some more challenges where balancing is missing because it's almost been more than 9-10 months now. We started going to offices. I mean, the coordination between people, the leaders, everything has been changed, and the way the people look at it is different. The way we people organize the things are different. Again, we don't know, we may end up landing in another work from home situation or a kind of lockdown. But whatever it is, this is going to be something which everybody needs to know. So there are certain points that are really making the employees to feel very, very, very uncomfortable, or rather discomfort at the workplace, and even with the family, which is really disturbing both the places. So we are going to see quickly for the next 10-15 minutes about this. So I happen to identify some of the common challenges. I mean, the ones what you see in the red are those challenges which are absolutely found to be most important things that are missing. So communication, any which ways that goes happening with any of the languages. But when it comes to recognition, not every organization is doing this. You're recognized, but not the way it should be. You're recognized the other way around. So recognition is something that one needs to really know, and in fact, one needs to really have an opportunity to get recognized. So recognition would definitely happen the way how we work, the way how we actually put ourselves in workplace, or anywhere to that matter. So uh, workplace recognition or any kind of recognition is very, very, very important these days, just because many people are really not able to get motivated at work, just because they know that they are doing enough of hard work, and they know that they are the ones who are delivering the producing the results rather. But when it comes to recognition part, how many leaders are really giving the recognition? Especially women employees, they manage their work, they manage their family, they manage their children. And because of this work from home, since both wife and husband are working, at times the husband needs to take care of even family and children. So everybody has their own levels of pressures. It's not like the top leader has no pressure, the entry level employee has a lot of pressure. Everybody have got their own level of pressures. But are we really recognizing their work? See, I'll tell you, one would be a good leader. Like if they know how much work is done by an employee in the office, even that leader should be responsible in assigning what amount of work to be given, so that my employee should not feel burdened. And at the same time, I should appreciate for whatever the work he or she will do. It means we are trying to put the things in such a way that our employees are supposed to be very, very, very carefully taken care, like our family. But how many of the leaders or boss are doing this, we don't know. Employee mental health, automatically when we are putting some stress around, the mental health will be disturbed. That means too much of stress. I've been seeing many live examples that have been going around, and people even on Sundays, even after coming from offices, working till 11-12 in the night. I mean, it's like it's not their mistake. The way the work has been assigned with a very, very, very wrong or less deadline, saying like they know that the work can be done even tomorrow, the work can be done in 2-3 hours, but they say it should be done within 1 hour or half an hour, and then they put it across. Staff attitudes and hierarchy. Many of the private organizations, or rather government organizations, have got this problem: staff attitudes. A person who has been there in the office for many years has got a different attitude. He will never bother to listen to those who join newly. Rather, a person who is actually engaged in some other activity, this senior attitude fellow will never try to understand or listen. Ensuring that our employees' attitude is right, then only whatever the hierarchy we construct, it goes in a proper way. Dealing with a change, things are to be changed. We can't say that changes are inevitable totally. but still we need to go adapt to the changes, and we need to ensure that a lot of changes are needed, especially at the workplace, to make sure you have a balancing act and ensure that you go out of the office at the end of the day with a happy note, not just with a note of I'm left with something or with a dissatisfaction. Problem solving ability, you will have a problem. It can be from your counterpart, from a subordinate, or from a superior, whoever to that matter. But how are we going to handle that problem is very important. You cannot escalate everything. We cannot try to actually look into it such a way that okay, this problem is going to be very big, who is going to help me? Don't worry about all those things. You have a solution for it. What all you need to do is just need to think about it. What is that you need to do? If you can do it. So out of the other reasons I mentioned, these are some of the key things. Now, so as I said, like because of the pandemic, though we have been working from home and we have been trying to coordinate with the people across in different ways, there is a big difference between work life and family life. See, we are not robots. We are not supposed to be robots. Okay, you may have work. You're paid for 8 hours in a day in office. You're supposed to work for the 8 hours in a day. Why is that we are carrying the rest of the work to home, ensuring that our family life is getting disturbed? Is it not the responsibility of the leader to assign the work in such a way that they also have a family? They need to think about their personal life. And the employee also has to understand and convey the same, that they can do it tomorrow or unless or until it's very on a very top high priority. Because see, if it is an organization like a bank or a any such financial institution where you need to definitely ensure the count of the cash or collected or financial transactions, then yes, we may need some extra time. But in general, other activities don't need that much of extra time. See, work life, when you look at the work life, productive work, appreciation, social working environment, flexible working hours, it's like people are getting used to all these options and activities, but how many are really comfortable with this? Measures for health and nutrition, in-house childcare, company benefits, especially those families who have got a baby at home, wife and husband are working. That's a very, very, very big challenge because of these leaders or boss. They don't understand what sort of work they are giving to people. They can't understand what sort of pressures they are applying on the family. There are families which got badly disturbed because the family is, I mean, the works assigned are in such a way. Private life, see, you're employed for 8 hours. Beyond 8 hours, you have a life, and you're supposed to be that. Why is that we are trying to disturb the employee's private life and then make sure that he will also work at home or she will also work at home? You're paid till 4:30, maximum 5 o'clock. Ensure that you're working till then, unless or until it is on a top priority. We are not supposed to do that. Ramon sir, very good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here.
Good afternoon, sir.
Nice to see you, sir. So private life is something which every individual needs to have today, because we cannot totally say that okay, this particular life is still in my hand, so the employee has to go home and then work. Work from home doesn't mean, or doesn't actually mean that even after going home you work. Many leaders or many top officials may not be knowing this. I have been seeing employees who have undergone the counseling saying, who have undergone the treatment saying like they have undergone a lot of stress. That's not the right way of private life is your family, partners, friends, children, exercising on your health activities. A lot of things are there. We cannot just say that okay, even at home I have to work. We are not getting paid for anything beyond 8 or 9 hours in a day. And are we really working like normal? No, we go beyond that like a robot. So that's something really not needed. See, if I'm a fellow like beyond 8 hours, I usually don't touch my laptop, because once I come home, I have my baby, I need to take care of my family. Even if I open the laptop and sit in front of it, then there is no point. I'm not like a robot or something. Any work, I know how to plan it, and I'll ensure that the next day it will be delivered as it is, whatever they expect. So, leaders, it's my humble request, before you assign a task to your employees, ensure that you measure the time kind of requirement, you measure, assess what sort of importance it has, and then only assign it, so that our employees or your people will not get suffered at any point of time, because end of the day, like you have a family, even they have a family. They need to take care of the family. They need to take care of the grandchildren. They need to take care of children. They need to take care of everything. And we are just getting paid for 8 hours in a day. Even if it is your own business, let there be a proper planning and schedule that, I have some time for my life and my health also. So that's what one needs to think about. I've got only 4 slides, out of which we are on the 3rd slide now. So there are 8 steps for achieving work-life balance. If you look at the image at the bottom right corner, it clearly indicates work to live and don't live to work, no to balance your life. You should be measuring it on a daily basis. Your workload should be in such a way that you should be understanding whether you are under stress, dissatisfied, or happiness, or jobless, anything. You ensure that you're happy, you're making the results happy, your employer is happy. See, create a schedule and set boundaries. Don't become so workaholic that you don't care your health. Give yourself regular breaks, at least every 40 minutes. Get up from your place and keep walking. Recreate the water cooler. Ensure that your mind is becoming very normal, at least for every half an hour, 40 minutes, like you are sitting right under a cooler now. Get some fresh air. Don't just become a robot or a fixed concrete stone at one place. Make time for yourself. Keep time off. Take the time off. After 4-5 hours, take a break. Nothing is going to fall down. Your head is not going to get away. Keep news to a minimum. Stop sharing the things with everyone, whatever you wanted to. Ensure that you are with right people. Ask for support. If anything is needed, take support. So when I come to the last, these are certain points, because I started writing a research article on leadership failures in work in people management for various reasons. So these are some of the reasons, apart from the behavior of the leader. These are some of the reasons why leaders are becoming boss, and why employees are resigning from the companies, and why employees are facing a lot of challenges. Number 1, overconfidence of the leader. Of course, when they have all these qualities, they can no more be a leader. Why to have overconfidence on yourself and then start assigning the works in such a way? A good leader will never have overconfidence. He will have the confidence on himself and his employees or her employees, and they will assign the tasks in such a way that they believe that these people will do. Trust matters. Lack of motivation. A leader really doesn't need motivation, and if they need it, they should take it the right way, that subordinates will get motivated from this particular leader. Poor attitude. Many leaders are there who never try to listen to their subordinates, who never try to understand their other co-employees. They just feel like whatever they do is correct, and whatever they know is correct. Let me tell you all one thing. The belief that one knows everything is a very dangerous thing. Very, very dangerous than an atom bomb. If I say that I know everything, maybe I'm not right. If you believe that you know everything, maybe you're not right. There is always a chance that you might go wrong at one point of time, and you are proven to be wrong, that whatever you know is not correct. Blindness to reality. People don't look at realities. What is the ground level reality? If a subordinate says, no, this can be done only within this much of time, we can't do it so quickly. Understand the ground reality and then assess, is it true or false? Is he really, or is she really right or wrong? So ensure that you are not closing or fogging your eyes with some blindness kind of in cloth. Reality needs to be completely observed. Failure to listen. There's a very big bad habit one leaders usually have. Bad leaders, I mean to say. They don't listen to their people. They feel like whatever I do is correct, whatever I say is correct. Having a wrong expectation. Why? Why is that we are setting wrong expectations, and why are we getting wrong expectations? When you know that this cannot be done within 1 hour, why are we setting an expectation that it should be done within 10-15 minutes? And why are we becoming so bad in front of the employees? Never ever do this. Failure to communicate a vision. Vision is not just for you. You need to communicate a vision of you and your organization through you, so that your employees will stick to that particular vision. You speak your organization's vision, not your personal vision. Your personal vision may be going wrong, but the vision of organization is very important, which will be spoken by us as a leader, and that will be followed by the rest of the employees. Ignoring a relationship building. This is the biggest mistake many of the leaders will do. They don't want to get in touch with subordinates or superiors, anyone to that matter, and they feel like whatever I'm thinking is right, and they never talk to people in a very humanitarian ground. They feel like, okay, I'm your leader or I'm your boss. When I come, you need to say good morning. When I go, you need to say bye. That's it. There is no human touch anywhere. We are not living in a world of, though we are living in a world of artificial intelligence, but we are self-intelligent people. So we should know what is a human intelligence then. And we let us apply that human intelligence. Lack of social skills. How should we move with the people? What sort of behavior we should have? How are we observed in the society? What is it we are observing in the society? Everything will be noted. See, very simple. When we talk about the work-life balance and all these things, a bad leader or a bad boss will never make their employees to be happy. Instead of saying bad, I can say wrong. Instead, let your employees be happy, assign them the task in such a way they love to come back to office every day. They have their own personal family time, so they love to spend the family time. So make sure that your people are happy because of your leadership, not that they are always scolding you on the back end and saying a smiley good morning on the front end. Leadership cannot be, bought from someone. Leadership cannot be copied from someone. Leadership cannot be learned from books or something. Leadership can be learned only by observing people, by observing the surroundings, and also ensuring that you have a self-thinking ability and self-decision making ability. A leader will never listen to those decisions which are really going to be wrong. A leader will listen to people, but end of the day, he will be a wise leader who can make a right decision. So all my leaders, or whoever are watching this video, my humble request, before you say something to your employee or subordinate, remember two things. They are not slaves, they are your employees. Number two, they also have a family like what you have. Ensure that they are not, you're not taking their family or private lifetime and then ensuring that to work still at the home with all the works that you are assigning. So this is some small message I would like to convey, or rather I wanted to discuss. So I would really thank those people who have joined this session today. I'm really glad to have Dr. Amitaraj and Ramon sir and Gausia Afrin. And right, so any inputs or any points that we have to talk about, I'm ready to listen, or I'm ready to have a feedback. Over to participants.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Very nice to know after many days, long gap.
Hello, ma'am.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. And how is your, I suppose you was about to start some work there in Hyderabad or somewhere. How is that going on?
It's going on well. It's going fine.
Fine, very nice. But it was, I suppose it's a very short notice to join.
Yes.
But very nice. Very nice to see, very nice to listen to you once again.
Thank you so
much. With the same Josh.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks for joining us today. I'm actually writing a research paper now on this leadership failures, as I said. And in fact, I'm collecting some survey information also to perform some analysis and get it published in an article. Okay. Because of this pandemic, many people are badly getting affected, even though they go to office during pandemic. Even after coming back from office, another 6 hours, 8 hours at home, their personal life is really going bad. So I thought, let me actually discuss about that today.
And that was nice. It was that small and crisp talk.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Ramon sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, thank you so much.
Sir, I have 3 points to share.
Please, sir.
We say work-life. We say opinion that work is a part of life.
True.
Hence, I would like to rechristen it TAWFCS.
Okay.
I say QAFS for a spell purpose. QAFS. CWAFTS.
Oh, okay.
So the
okay.
time appropriation for time appropriation across work, family, self, and community.
True.
This, according to me, I find that this is more appropriate. What happens? Somebody coins one thing and we just go on following it.
Exactly.
So I don't see, life separate from work. This work or that work, ultimately, work is an integral part of
Part of a
life
life.
to get some money.
Right, sir.
This is one thing, sir. Number two, whether the onus is on the employee or the employer, the workplace from residence should not exceed 5 kilometers in metros and urban places.
Okay.
Villages and semi-urbans, anyway, it will be like that only. So that we are not consuming a productive time for simply commuting.
Exactly, sir.
Employer should provide, sir,
No, truly said, it takes hours together to commute.
commute. So the employee also, in his own professional interest, if he's having a own house also at a distant place, should let it out and take a leased premises near to his office. The employer on the part should insist that the employee should be within 5 kilometers radius from the workplace, and he should also support to that end by giving a lease accommodation, and they themselves taking a bulk lease accommodations and allotting to the employees. This is point number 2, sir.
Okay.
And then, according to the Industrial Dispute Act and post-industrialization, the working hours are 8 hours. They are pegged at 8 hours, almost uniformly across the world. Leave, overtime working and all, the basic working hours are 8 hours.
Labor law, as per the labor law.
As per the labor law. What I say is that 8 hours work, this is the pay, that is okay. But I will work only 6 hours, you reduce 1/4 of it, proportionately you pay me less. More money, I am not interested. Minimum money is okay for me. This 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever, or I say 50% you cut my salary, I work only for 4 hours. These 4 hours or 2 hours I use for the remaining part for my own self, my passion, my hobby, my family, whatever. This is the third point. So these 3 things I just wanted to share with the group available here. Thank
because we call them as adjunct employees, where they come for a minimum less time, and they spend the time at workplace for, as you said, 2 hours or 3 hours. Rest of the time they take care of their personal life, whatever they wanted to do. But those 2-3 hours they give very productive and they leave. That's it. That's one good thing. And when it comes to, like you said, within the 5 kilometers range, again it depends on the leaders and employers also, sir, because I have seen, we had some of the complaints in few of the previous companies where I was working, that especially when it comes to the education institutions, I have seen these complaints coming in, that whoever were living very nearby, I mean, they were made to stay back even beyond the office hours, saying like, you stay very nearby, why you in a hurry, so you can go after 1 or 2 hours. I mean, as per the labor, like, if there is really a need of it, okay, anybody can stay there, no matter whether it's 5 kilometers or 50 kilometers. But making them to forcibly stay back just because I'm staying, you're also supposed to stay, it's not reasonable. It's not actually right.
Those are the evil practices.
Evil practices.
Evil practices. One need to be professional. Whether it is a leader, that is the employer or employee, both need to be professional.
Exactly.
I am staying close to the office for my convenience, not to work for the
employer's convenience.
Not for your convenience, and not to work without being paid for it.
True.
On the other side, what I am telling is that I don't work 8 hours. You pay me 50% only. I will work 4 hours. I have got ample other important things to do. Instead of paying me 60,000 per month, 30,000 is enough for me. I will use the remaining time. You employ for another employee for 4 hours. This kind of novel thinking is lacking among the leaders or the CEOs or whatever. 8 hours Industrial Dispute Act, labor law, just follow it blindly.
No, that there is another strong reason behind it, sir. There is another strong reason behind it. What I have observed is, when we have interacted with few of the employees, the employers, what they're doing is, any which ways, instead of 60, he's asking only for 50% or whatever you said, 30,000 of salary. But still, for whatever I'm paying, why should I let him allow only for that half hours? no, whatever it is, whatever I pay, I want that 8 hours to be done. Whether he has work or no work, it is like, as I said, it's a evil. You rightly said, evil thinking. It's a evil thinking. This happens only when the leader is lacking the vision of organization. Leader is not sure of what they are doing. The leader is not aware of what exactly to be done in terms of employee growth and organizational development. So all these negative things will come in place, and that will actually lead to a lot of employee leaving the organization. There are many organizations where employees left just because of the misbehavior or improper leadership, where they could not go with the top level anymore. And especially this happens in educational institutions most of the time.
Yes, that is there. What I am telling is an idealistic situation. I do understand the gap between what I say and what is practiced.
Exactly, sir.
Always people practice in a negative way, in violation. That is there. That is our fate. I don't have to say
True.
much on it.
True, sir. But one mean, the idea what you gave was really good, because at least, see, for example, if I know that I have some other things in place. I know that 5 hours or 4 hours in a day I can spend for this company. Let that rest of the 4 hours option be given to some other one, some other employee who can work for other salary. Now, because of my idea, or I mean the idea which you shared, there is one more employment being created. Someone else is also getting job. But how many will think like that is something really a questionable thing. But anyway,
Yeah.
thank you so much for your input, sir. I'll definitely take this with your permission in my research article. Right. I'll also talk to you on this in detail about the research article. I have some inputs needed from you. As well from Dr. Amita Raj ma'am. I'll also have a word with you, ma'am. Right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Afrin, for being here. And she is one such great intern I have, sir. Every session I conduct, she stays on the session and she completely listens to it and come back with questions. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'll share this video link again with you all. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks. Thanks.
Right, sir. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. And please be aware, take care of things, be aware from our corona. Again, we have some bad times starting. Please take care of yourself, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone.